Hello and welcome to this video here on YouTube. So here we have the CLD-D390. Now the CLD-D390, the reason why this one's taken apart is because it arrived to me in a very poor beat up state. Now the difference between this model and the 590, let's say, or some of the other models out there like the CLD-925 would be this machine only has a video out composite. It doesn't have the S video out or the SCART socket, which would be a European thing. It also doesn't include the digital out. I wouldn't be too concerned about the digital out unless you're going to start playing back DTS discs, as the analog out on this is actually quite good. The analog out will obviously output the digital signal via analog, and will play back analog NTSC discs and again output them via the analog output that's here. You may see that there's an audio mono and a video out that's here, these two here. These are designed for an RF modulator, which allows the TV signal to be produced and put obviously a TV signal onto your television. This particular one here, the AC3RF, is for outputting to what's known as an RF modulator. That allows for the data on the disc, which is Dolby AC3, to be output to your modulator, and the modulator will then output a pure digital signal to your modern digital amp. They are a separate product and no machine actually did the work on the board itself. This is a good board to show you because it's actually a very basic board. Now I'm hoping to show probably in a later video just basically photographic clips of the various motherboards in these machines, but this would be, I would suppose, the basic model. There's obviously a European version, the CLD-S310S, which is a very cut down version. I will take that apart and to show you the internals of that. Again, probably in photographic format, or I may do a quick video of it. The main points of noting on this would be the tracking gain, focus gain, tilt adjust offset A and tilt adjust offset B. The idea behind these is if the laser is slightly off, you can adjust them and get a better focus on the laser. The lasers are very highly calibrated, and generally you shouldn't need to touch these pots. So I wouldn't go touching them unless your picture is somewhat faulty. And then if you do touch them, you want to basically turn them in very slow increments. Ideally, you want to have a test disc to do this. Ideally, you want to have an oscilloscope to do this. I don't have an oscilloscope no more than I know how to actually use an oscilloscope, so it may be quite problematic. But in saying that, you do need to buy an oscilloscope to actually calibrate it correctly. But if you do it by eye, you're going to get a pretty good picture. But like I said, don't fiddle with it. If it ain't broken, don't go fiddle with it. The internals of this we're going to start putting back in, and that's what the basics of this video is. It's just to show you how these internals go back in here. To take out the main carriage assembly, the whole piece that runs the show, you do not need to remove this ribbon cable here. So no point in taking that out. Basically that just supplies the power to the main board. There's nothing else fancy about it. There's only the one main chip on here which runs the whole show, and that is a Pioneer chip, of course, and it looks like a PD024032. I'm sorry, not 32. I'm going to bring it right to my face here so you can see it. B232. Getting blind in your old age, boss. So I'm actually going to see if that chip is available in some of the other machines, so it should be funny and interesting to see if that is the case. Okay, so we're going to go on to the next bit of the video. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is put that back into focus there a bit. We're going to put the main carriage assembly back into the machine, so you can bring it in the back first like that. That's why you need to take that black plastic cover off the back if you haven't done it already. And just slide it in the front for a minute, just leave it like that, that's okay. Okay, so that's still on camera, yes. So this piece here, make sure those contacts are clean. You can use a dirty old greasy rag for this. Just shove them in. There's no catch to worry about on that. So you don't need to worry about a little clip you've got to undo or redo. So that's okay. Just going to line that up with the screw holes roughly. There we are. That's nicely in. Now we want to put this, I'm going to try and get that into camera there for you. Okay, so this cable here It's a little plastic hook down here, see that? Let's put that through that, and then let's clip that back in there. The advantage is they only go in one way. If you're ever confused about a ribbon cable, how it goes in, just take a look at the line. There's usually a line on blue line or a red line depending on what it is, and that will usually give you the orientation of what way something goes. And usually then on the actual clip itself then, I'll bring that up for you. Using the clip itself then, there'll be a notch or a mark which will indicate what way that goes in for you. So in this case here, we can just put that back into that. Still on camera, yeah. We'll make sure it's still on camera doing this. Last thing you want is not to be on camera after all this effort. And then just make sure you fold that wire holder in place, okay? They're pretty important. They stop the cables from, you know, dangling about the place. Okay, so sim in there. Alright, okay. That's for this one that's up here that's still erect, is for our front cover. Now the next thing are the screws for, don't want that one, are the screws for the actual carriage. Like I said, the carriage assembly screws are slightly different to the main screws on the machine. So, right, there's the carriage assembly screws. Carriage, the main body, not really carriage assembly is the little laser thing I'll show you in a second. So there's a little screw there, see? So that one there is the one that goes on most of the parts around, which I'll show you in a minute. And these four longer ones are for the 4 points we're going to put them into now. So putting the screws in is fairly easy. So there's your first screw. I'm going to point these to you and then I'm going to just put them in because it's much easier. So you've got a screw down here, screw down there. You have to take the front cover off the machine, and then there's a screw down there, and there's a screw down here. So we are going to do it here on camera anyway, so hopefully you'll see the form. So I'll try and show you them. Let me see, where are we now? See if we can get that on camera for you. So this one goes down here. See down there? Okay. Lay the machine down just to do it. Just do them loose first, don't do them too tight. And then when you finish them off, then again, just, you know, hand tight. Don't go over. Just leave them loose first until you make sure everything is settled in the right position. Got the two up here as well. Just that one in. Should go in without any problems. So if you're having trouble getting them in, my advice would be start again. Whatever you do, don't strip them. Now I'm just doing a hand tight. Hand tight basically means you just, you know, give the screw a tighten so far. You don't get to it and, you know, there's this sort of stuff. So, you know, grabbing the screwdriver and really giving it, that's over tightening, just enough. You know, it's not really going to go anywhere, you know. So that's that done. Something fell there, we heard that, didn't we? Ah, well, sure, that's the joys of live video. Okay, so we have the cable in, we cable in, we cable in, we cable in. Good so far. The next thing we need to do is put the front fascia on. And the front fascia comes off the same way it goes on, with great difficulty. So it's fairly straightforward. There's nothing. This is like Lego. These newer drives are actually quite easy. I honestly have not attempted to take apart my, you know, CLD-D390. There is a fault in it. I'm not too sure whether I'll actually be able to fix it. Now see this here? We've got, oh, that's in the way now. See down here, the clip and the clip. So I'll put them in first. So there's 3 of them at the bottom there. Ah, look at that now. See, look. This is the damage in transit. Look. This one here, look. See, look. Totally sheared off. That's from where it was drop kicked. See? I was dropped in this side. So we'll throw that in the bin. Don't worry about that. At the end of the day, if the machine turns on and runs, that's half the battle, isn't it? Just need to get them clips in there. Okay. The third clip we don't have, so we can't get it in. Then it just comes forward up. As you can see, just like that. And it'll just go click, click, click for you. That's that. Then the only other thing left then is this cable here, goes into that one, and then again bend over the little cable clip just to keep it in place. That's it. Now there's 2 more screws to put in here, which we'll put in 1 second, but very important, you make sure that this little fella here is plugged in. Okay, so that goes on top, screw back in there. Again, on the top panel here we have 2 special screws. We've got a special screw here and a special screw here. What I mean by special is they're different than the other screws in the machine. There's usually 2 similar to these actually on the drive drawer on some of the older machines. It doesn't exist on this machine because this is a more modern machine obviously, but on the older machines there's a, see, it's a little flat head in it, you see? So they belongs to here. So one goes there, diddly diddly diddly, and the other one, make sure I'm still on camera, goes over here. Yeah, so I got a CLD-D390 all delivered to me as well. The drawer was jammed on that one, solid, and then it would jerk itself in, jerk itself out, and I managed to get that sorted out. But when I say sorted out, I got as far as it won't read discs. So there's something up with the laser on that one. The laser's clean, I gave it a quick wipe, but made absolutely no odds to it, you know. Okay, now you may notice there's something missing here. This case is extremely flexible at the minute. So the next thing we want to do, I reckon, is put these bars back on. I'm off camera here at the second, as I know. So I don't know how I'm going to get this all on camera. Maybe I'll have to go around this way. Okay, so that goes in there. We got 2 more. I'm hoping to put these on right. Oh, no I didn't. Did I? No, hold on, maybe I did. Yep, maybe I'm okay, maybe I'm good. No, I'm not. No, I'm not, because that's dangling in the air there, big man. Let me see. Let me see. That has to connect. Oh, look what I did. Aha. Right, so now interesting. I'd taken this one out to say you can take the screw out of here. I get the screw out of the main carriage. I'd obviously taken the one out of the carriage, so it needs to go back in. This is a bonding cable, as they call it. Make sure everything is electrically connected. So I can put that in first. Diddly diddly diddly, diddly diddly diddly, squiddly diddly dee. Right. So that's that. My hand was in the way for most of that, that's it. Okay, and we can actually quickly check, make sure this is correct, by dropping half the drive on the floor. Yep, that'll work. Okay, I'll show you that in a second. That's the hold on a second. That's the top clamp mechanism. So we'll be looking at that in just 1 second. So, what else is to note here? There's nothing else really to worry about at the moment. I'm just going to get the rest of these screws put in. The back piece we can put on in a few minutes. So we're going to get these. So that's that screw in there. If you end up with spare screws at the end of it, don't worry about the trauma. Next screw is. It's not going to go into the camera at all, is it? I'll turn this around here for you, so you can see. Right, so now we can see the full 4 there. Let's bring it this way a bit. So another one over here. Looking good. Looking smart. So that goes in there. Another screws are going along. Diddly diddly doo. Doo 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 doo. Basically what these do is they give the main body of the machine rigidity, without which machine be wobbling all over the place. So there's actually quite a bit of rigidity put into this machine. But actually a very well built machine. Now I have to say, I much prefer these to the older machines. A bit of a wobble there, look at that. That's not good. We'll have a look at the bottom of this in a second. To the older machines, I think the modular aspect of them is pretty good. I opened up the CLD-D390 and I have to say I took one look and went, oh mother of God, you know. It's just ridiculous, the amount of stuff that's inside it. And then I took apart the CLD-925 and we're talking half it. It looks like it's such an easier and more friendly machine to play with. I also noticed that the adjustments on the 1950 are buried under the tray drive, so I don't know how you'd actually change the tilt adjustment without having the disc just literally sitting on top of the clamp. I don't know. It just looks like a right royal pain in the bum, you know. Yeah, it's a nice bit of wobble there, isn't it? Let's see. Well, the pads are on. Just a bit of wobble in the machine, yeah. It could be the worktop though as well, you know. This is probably square, the worktop's probably not. A bit of dust on there. Oh, so much for me saying I cleaned the whole darn thing. I did, I promise you I did. Let's give it a bit of a rub up the front there. I'm just cleaning this black fascia here, just giving this a bit of an old rub, you know. Oh, look at that, like black magic. Oh. Now, the next piece that's missing is the, I'm going to turn it around again because we can't see it, is the top clamp that goes across here. So that's a fairly straightforward piece to assemble. You've got two pieces. You've got the clamp piece, bitty bit, that's broken. There's a piece broken off here which I'll show you in a second. And this is the piece that meets the disc, and that's the piece that meets the plate. So drop him in there, and I have previously drop a dab of graphite grease on here. So success. That's woken people up to falling asleep using their headphones. And then orientation here is the key, isn't it? La, 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 la. Okay, so what you want to end up with is, you see this see the way one, let me see, show it that way maybe, see the way one side is flat, see, a flat head. So then you give it a quick twist and that's it. Now to take this out of here, there's a clip that's broken. Yep, didn't have much success with this poor old machine. So basically what you're doing is you're lifting up, see this piece of plastic here? There's usually a little tab on the end of that which you'd lift up and then you can twist it. But obviously that tab is broken off in our case. So I'm just gonna put that, oh god, I just want to go back in there. I'll go. It's being stubborn. I don't want to go back in there. I'm not going back in there. No way. Right, it's going back in. Good. Good. What the? Now, that's obviously going to start. It'd be nice if I put that on the right way around, wouldn't it? That's obviously going to be a problem. So how do we solve it? Well, I'll show you what I've done. Masking tape I've used already, which works. But I've ordered a new part for this. I've also ordered a laser. Ah, you see, you're wondering where's the laser. You've noticed that, haven't you? Haha. You're like, hey, there's no laser in this drive. Where do you put it? Well. This is just a disassembly and a reassembly of the machine. I shall show you the laser a little bit later on because we're going to do a little separate video on the laser. So that's basically what I did. A bit of duct tape or masking tape as I used before. And it's not really going to move. It's just to stop it slipping, that's all. But that will work, I assure you. So there you are. So if your top clamp breaks because you took it off, put a bit of grease on it, a bit of the universal duct tape, or gaffer tape, or cloth tape, or in the case of this one, it's called ultra tape because it's ultra. Right. Now the drive, the drawer. Put your drawers back on, will you? Well, I'm going to put the drawers back in. So to do that, we get to the drive. The drawer. We give it an old duster. It's a bit dusty. Okay, so I'm going to move that in. Now, hopefully this is on camera. Getting this square is the trick. Sometimes when they arrive, lovely jubbly, you hear that lovely satisfying click. Basically what we have there is, I can't really turn, I have not much workspace here. Maybe you see this side. Can you see this side? There's a clip here. There's a clip on either side. You've got to basically got to pop them over. That's how you get the drive drawer out. Okay? Get the drive drawer in. You should hear click click like that. And now you know your drive drawer's in. If for whatever reason the drive belt that was over here you saw a second ago happens to break, you can actually spin the wheel. You can spin it. That's me spinning it now, you see? And the drive drawer will go back in for you. Okay? Simple as that. Okay? So, the only piece left to do is the back plastic, which is going on here, and the lens. Now I wanted to show you the lens if you want to change it without having to take everything apart, because that's kind of half the fun, isn't it? Right, we're going to go and we're going to go have a look at the lens and the laser pickup, because I want to show you something that's interesting about this machine. Now this machine was sold to me as working, or previously working. Never mind the fact that it was drop kicked and damaged. Never mind that. Let's ignore that for the moment. Let's ignore the fact that it was drop kicked and smashed to pieces. Hasn't been screwed in, by the way. Let's ignore that fact. Let's ignore the fact that it hasn't been screwed in. That doesn't really matter. What matters is, and this is very important, is the lens itself and the laser pickup. So I'm now going to stop this video. So come back to me the next time, in the next video, and we shall have a check and a look at the said lens assembly. So please do come back and we will continue on this video. In the meantime, that's how you put the machine back together. If you have a machine, if you've got two machines and one's faulty and one's not, it's a great way to just take this piece out of the other one, put it into this one, see if it works without taking the lens out of it. It's quicker, it's easier. The problem with taking the lens laser assembly out is it tends to want to snap itself on the M holder, which is exactly what you don't want, because you cannot buy them anymore. Now, I did hear somebody's going to screen print more of them. If they do, I wouldn't mind a few of them. But until that day comes, we'll have to be very, very careful. Okay, right, as I said, I'll see you in the next video. So until then, we'll leave this loose just to annoy people that might want to screw it together. Ooh, okay. Alright, see you in a bit. Give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, like, subscribe and all that crack. I appreciate it.